So you say 2000 came, nothing happened. You're wrong. Check. Let me explain. You see, a few scientists, researchers that you say are wrong, as I have said before, they are right. I've explained that the 200 miles of ice broke off the Ross ice shelf and began to drift away. The poles has started to shift. So, from May 5, 2000, go back and check one, study it real good, come back and get this part. From May 2000, the planets started their alignment just as the mathematical code on the walls of the Great Pyramid said. And this was Richard Noon's findings. But it took 12 days for the alignment to complete. This was a book being read. Note, it took 12 days, and these planets went through some amazing zodiacal details. You can search my website for details on the pole shift. But note, it would be 12 years. And I actually heard Richard Hoagland say this, but I said it way back in time. I heard him say this, that it took 12 years. He was talking about a sign there when 1999 came, and the sign said, "This is the beginning of the end," and there was like, meaning it was 12 more years. But this is through the lenses that we see things, the ones that know. He calls it hyperdimensional physics. But anyway, black people have been doing this kind of logic and reasoning. That's why we call it overstanding for years. Okay, but took 12. It's going to take 12 years. So you see, we're reading the one book. The word universe, splash the word U-N-I. Uni means one. Verse means book or the verse. So universe is the one book of the way of life. Okay. How come I know this? That when I was like everybody else, all right, nothing going to happen. I actually relaxed. So by the time that time came, I gathered up my family and I went to seek refuge down at the base of the Grand Canyon, because I had, through my research, I knew it was a safe place, because last time the deluge came, the scientists say the Grand Canyons were formed. So I went down there, and I knew it would be a safe place. So I was taken in by Havasupai family. We've all heard of the Havasupai. See Bob Marley as a prophet. There's a connection between the Havasupai Indians at the base of Grand Canyon with Bob Marley. So if you could connect the strings and connect the hyperdimensional overlays and everything, you'll see a wonderful picture unfolding. All you gotta do is just connect the dots, and that's what my work have done. Was for to help you connect the dots or overlay the picture. So I was taken in by this Havasupai family who had dreamed I would come, and going 60 miles up the hill there at the base of Grand Canyon, and then you go 8 miles down the canyons. My mind was clear. I was 8 miles down. I wasn't in contact with the buffoonery of the urban environment, and my mind was clear. So I tuned into the movements of the planets, and I saw that the movements, what it was telling me, and I knew the language. I asked the astrologers and the astronomers what happened May 5 when the planets lined up. They didn't totally align on that date. It took 12 days for them to completely line up. Now, if you go jump off the Twin Towers right now, it's going to take you some time to hit the bottom. So believe it or not, 2012 is the day, Carl Calliman. So the last evolution of consciousness, it's not just a shift in consciousness, it's a pole shift, the climax of the pole shift. See, the last evolution of consciousness started in the 1980s. That's one parallel. We're going to show you just Just hold with me and bear with me and listen closely, attentively, and try to understand what I'm saying. In the 80s, when Nibiru was making itself felt in the universe, at that time, the prophet Bob Marley, he was 36 years old when he died. Now notice that Nibiru has a 3,600-year elliptical orbit, 3,600-year elliptical orbit. Bob Marley was 36. He passed away in 1981. Now, during the 80s, Nibiru was coming in closer, where astronomers could see it. Bob Marley was dying, and then everybody started break dancing. And then the people, the fundamentalist Christians, didn't like disco, so they took the disco out into the arena. They burnt the disco records, and then rap music came in, was born. And Stevie Wonder led the Right After Peace press conference, which as a journalist, I covered that in Washington, D.C. in the year 1981 at the United Press building. Okay, then in the 1990s, what happened? The World Wide Web, and we knew. Then we started making this information globally. Pay close attention. Note, we have a different timeline than what the white researchers deal with. They are really new to the game. Notice, Jose Arguelles went to Tarnetta Muhammad of the Nation of Islam for the connection. Now Jose knew something. He did not seek out an Arab Muslim from overseas. You see, the consciousness shift truly started, listen close now, with the devastation of Hiroshima and the destroying of Nagasaki in 1945 by the atomic bomb. That's when the consciousness shift started. The master blaster jamming. Booyah! The consciousness shift has started in 1945, which had its roots in the 1914 World War I. 27 years later, 1941, just turned 14 around. You got 1941, 27 years later, World War II. Take notes now. Next 27 years, we find ourselves in the Vietnam conflict, it was called. But if you look closely, it was a world war also. Note, the next 27 years, we are in Desert Storm, another world war. This is called Armageddon. Sprats of small wars here and there every 27 years, which started in 1914, which culminates in Iraq right along now. You know, Armageddon, small sprats of wars, is culminating right now, and we know the reason why they're in Iraq. It all has to do with 2012, ever since 1914. So you see, God and the devil are two sides of the same damn coin. It took that atomic bomb to make the shift in consciousness. That's just a level the people was on, a barbaric level. Okay. Culmination in Iraq, parallel to Armageddon, there's another shift. Started in the year 1930. Okay, notice 1930 equals the number 13 numerologically. Okay, we still look at the Maya calendar. This is the crowning of Haile Selassie, 1930, and the advent of the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's the first shift. 30 years. Okay, now 30 years later, 1960, the beginning of the era of peace and revolution, the uprising as defined by the 1930 timeline. Black power, flower power, Woodstock. So the next 30 years is 1990. Then the information age start. Information superhighway now. We'll take it to a different level, which would be short. It was a tool of reflection, the internet. We could share the information of our experiences of time before time ran out, and there would be about 22 years to do it. Note the number 22, judgment and all that. This chart of time is a graph in the form of a serpent showing ups. Started at the diamonds of the rattle, showing ups and downs. consciousness raises, consciousness low. Now we in the rap right now, in the hip hop. In the 60s, consciousness high. Then the 80s, consciousness high again. You know, the master blaster jamming is coming out. A few people pick up come high. The 90s, consciousness low. Rap. Everybody's going blind. So we get to 2012, you know, then you know we're at that peak again. Okay, then we're going down ahead, culmination. Then so this was all created by sound and light. The master blaster jamming, the atomic bomb. Boom ya! See, it was written. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Shall is a key word here. Will happen in the future. Will, it happens in the future. But shall, it says, is a possibility or supposed to be. So it's supposed to be the master blaster jamming. But most people are mentally dead, so they can't see. They're listening to Hoagland and Ike and this white man and that white man. They ain't paying me no attention. You know what I mean? But this is very important. So we know that will has a meaning. It say, and the prophecy states, and all the musicians shall be there. So there was this great possibility. They're supposed to be there. We're supposed to make this big bang. You know, it took the big bang to wake us up in the beginning. The big bang of the atomic bomb, the big bang in the beginning when everybody started. It's all, and all it was a word. When the bomb was dropped, it was a word. You know, word, language it comes in many forms. Language is art. Life is art. Time is not money. Like Ogweli said, time is art. Time is art. It's not money. So it took the big bang to wake us up, and we went back to sleep. We woke up again, and on and on, and right about now, we should be having the grand concert of natural healing sound. Unlike the atomic bomb, we free our people with music. You are now in tune. Nibiru, not the devil's horn, you fundamental Nibiru, and peace. We free our people with music. Peace. You are now in tune. On the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. I am your brother Rastafari. Ital Iman I. Yes, I.